Amaya's Anger, written by Gabi Garcia, illustrated by Marta Pineda. A mindful understanding of strong emotions. Amaya's Anger. Amaya scowled and scrunched at school. She glared and grumbled at home. Everywhere she went these days, Amaya seemed to frown and furrow. "Why don't you take a deep breath?" they suggested. "I don't want to take a deep breath," she roared back. "You need to calm down," they offered. "I do not need to calm down," Amaya replied. And so it went. One day, Amaya's Tia came over to bake with her. They mixed, whisked, and rolled together. Amaya was focusing on folding her empanada exactly right when Mommy walked in with her screaming baby sister, Lola. Tia reached for the baby, making the weirdest noises and silliest faces. As Tia grabbed Lola, she accidentally bumped Amaya. Her empanada fell to the floor and pumpkin filling splattered all over her shoes. Amaya's face flushed. She reached for an already banked empanada and threw it on the floor before stomping up the stairs. Tia followed. "I'm not angry," Amaya yelled, cutting Tia off. "Oh," said Tia. "Whatever you're feeling is okay. I'm here for you if you need me." "I don't know how I'm feeling," Amaya said quietly. "Everyone always tells me I'm angry." That may be what they see on the surface, but maybe there's something deeper. When I'm upset, it can be hard for me to know how I feel, too. "Really?" asked Amaya. "Yep. Let me tell you a little secret. Grown-ups aren't always good at knowing what they feel either. I need practice figuring it out, too, especially with strong emotions." "It's really hard for me," said Amaya. "It can be tricky at first. The good thing is there are no right or wrong answers because there are no right or wrong emotions. Can I show you what helps me?" asked Tia. First, Amaya and Tia wrote a list of all the feelings they could think of. "A list makes it easier for me to figure out what I'm feeling," said Tia, as she drew what looked like a gingerbread person. Our emotions are messengers that give us information. Anger is there to tell us something's not right or unfair. It wants our attention, so it sends strong signals to our body to let us know it's there. "It feels like lava is pumping into my veins, and my face gets red and sweaty," said Amaya. "I felt that downstairs." "Yes, it can be intense," said Tia, "but paying attention to the anger signals your body sends you and being aware of what's happening can help you manage it better." Feelings and emotions: happy, sad, angry, worried, scared, embarrassed, jealous, proud, frustrated, excited, disappointed, calm, brave, guilty, surprised, relieved, hopeful, shy, confident, silly. Tia reached for the notebook and drew a picture of a pie. Anger may sometimes be easier to express than other emotions, but it's what other people see first, like the dome of this pie. But beneath it, there are usually other emotions like hurt, sadness, fear, or something else. We might be hungry or tired. What others see: anger. What could be underneath? Fear, sadness, hurt, jealousy, disappointment, embarrassment, hunger, or exhaustion. Amaya studied Tia's drawing, then looked up at her. I was feeling angry earlier, but also jealous. Lola takes up so much of Mommy's time, and I don't want her to take yours too. That makes sense, said Tia. Do you remember what happened when we forgot to vent the pie we baked? The filling exploded, and the bottom got soggy, so it was kind of gross, answered Amaya. The vent holes help the pie to release steam. Without them, the steam builds and builds and builds until boom! I've been feeling like I'm about to explode a lot lately, said Amaya. When we don't express our emotions, they build inside of us, and that feels yucky too. Expressing them is important, explained Tia. How do I do that? Asked Amaya. Talking about what's going on is one way, answered Tia. She was right. Amaya did feel better talking to her. You don't always have to tell others what you're feeling if it doesn't feel comfortable, but you can tell yourself. Then you can share your feelings with someone you trust. Crying, moving your body, or drawing are other ways to express what you're feeling. Here's another secret. Deep breaths can really help. When you breathe deeply, it sends a message to your brain to calm down. But when others remind us too much or at the wrong time, I know it can feel annoying, Tia said with a wink. They both laughed. Tia cupped her hands in front of her face. I imagine that I'm holding a bowl of hot soup. When I take a long inhale to smell it, and because it's my delicious sopa de fido, I want it to cool down so I can eat it. Tia blew gently through her mouth into her imaginary soup bowl. Her breath tickled Amaya as she leaned in to watch. If I don't want others to know what I'm doing, I just put my bowl on my lap. Amaya practiced with her own bowl a few times. Can I tell you a secret now? Amaya asked. Of course, said Tia. I've also been feeling guilty. I hid Lola's teddy under the couch. Oh, said Tia. Our emotions can be messy at times, just like baking. But we clean up and we give ourselves grace when we make a mistake. Do you know how you can clean this up? Amaya nodded. I'll return it before we go back to our empanadas. This is the recipe, Amaya said as she reached for the notebook. Yes, use it whenever you need. We feel many different emotions all day long, and the more we practice noticing them, the better we can get. So Amaya practiced. Some days, she noticed a roller coaster of emotions. In class, Amaya felt a familiar flutter in her chest and heat on her cheeks. But this time, rather than stew and scowl, she felt the frustration and embarrassment. They'd kept her from asking for help because she thought others were smarter. She blew slowly on her bowl of soup a few times, then asked her teacher to explain the assignment again. At home, Playing with Senor Gato, their kitty, Amaya felt calm and relaxed. But when Lola started screaming and Mommy scooped her up, Amaya noticed her body tightening. Instead of stomping, she stayed. With tears in her eyes, Amaya told Mommy how she'd been feeling. They made a plan to have a special time, just the two of them. Amaya felt peaceful after talking to her. Now, when Amaya notices anger, she also looks deeper to see what other emotions are there with it. She's also better at noticing all her other emotions too, like how silly she feels when she plays with Lola, or how confident she feels baking with Tia. The end.